Alright, I'm Nathaniel Lee,
I'm Isaiah Johnson.
and this is our project for CST 361. So we'll go ahead and start by registering a user. So we'll go ahead and show some of our basic data validation rules. So we have requirements on the length and values. And once submitted, if it's successful, it redirects to the login. And the login was successful. So now we have the credential class as well as the user class, which has an instance of the credential class. You want to go over the controllers, or the controller?
Yeah. So if you go up a little bit, you can see that we use dependency injection. We inject our user business service into the controller, and then we have our register submit, which is called when the user has the submit button on the register page. Right now, we'll call it business services add user. It'll pass the user to it, and then if it succeeds, which is right there. So we then make a call to the data service to add the user, and if it works, then it'll return true. Otherwise, it'll return false. And right now, we don't have our data access service hooked up to a database right now. So right now, we're just returning true for that. And then we have the login submit, which is called when they hit the submit button on the login form. It'll pass the email and password through the credential object, and that will call the login user on the business service. And then if it succeeds, then it will take them to that landing page, the home page, once they log in. Otherwise, it'll return an error page back to them to let them know that something went wrong.
And that is pretty much it for this milestone. The Raspberry Pi, our IoT device is a Raspberry Pi, and so we don't have access to the data on it until we create an API to use for the data on
Yeah,
that.
as of right now, it successfully gets the moisture data, and it'll print it out. But since we don't have anywhere to send it right now, since we don't have an API set up, it's basically just reading in real time and not storing anything. But once we get the API on the server set up, then we can use the requests library in Python to send post requests with the data to our API.
And that's all we have for this milestone.